Hey everybody, hope you're doing great today. As you can see from outside, it's nice weather, the sun is out, it's starting to warm up. Even in your area, the temperatures are probably going up, if not warm already. Here we still get some lows in the high 30s, low 40s overnight, so still not planning anything outside, but I'm definitely getting excited for putting stuff in the garden. But prior to doing that, I need to prepare my beds. So in my case, I do garden in beds. I do have raised garden beds here. I'm going to show you in a few. Some of them are newer, some of them are older. They all are going to need some sort of preparation work prior to planting anything in there. And let's take a look and see what I plan on doing. So this bed right here is an original bed. When we first moved in, it was already here. I do not know the age of it. The soil height is pretty level, so I don't know that I need to top it off too much. I will add some bokashi soil from the bokashi soil factory directly on top to help improve the fertility level. I did have some garlic that overgrew over there, as you can see. In the corner, I started taking some of it down, did some weeding. But on the whole, this is ready to go outside of adding some compost. Now when you see this bed here, as well as that bed over there, what comes to mind in terms of what do you think needs to be done? Definitely need to raise up the level. Since this is a newer bed, newer compared to this bed over here, but still about 3-4 years old. I did put this bed together myself. Basically bought rocks from a local landscaping store, put in the soil. This wooden bed over here, made of cedar. This was put in last year. And as you can see with both of them, they've got quite a bit of settling in the soil. The soil levels have gone down on both sides, so I plan on bumping up the soil level. Now, if you look at these beds and you say, oh, you also need to clean them out because there's a lot of stuff in there, and I would say wrong. In fact, this is great stuff to have in your garden. This is all natural from the pine trees over here, from the trees over here. That one last season, I did add some charcoal in there as well too. It's kind of an experiment. So pretty much everything in here is natural. Same with this bed here as well. It's all natural materials dropped from these pine trees, dropped from the trees over there. And so I plan on leaving it there. I do not plan on cleaning it up. I'll leave it in there, and as I add soil on top, it becomes part of the existing soil, become another layer within the soil. So cleaning it out is the last thing on my mind. I don't want to clean anything out of this. If we look to nature, when it comes to these types of things, look at like a forest or a jungle, and you imagine that forest or jungle, nobody goes out there and, once the leaves fall, once the tree sticks and whatever, they break and they fall on the ground, nobody cleans that out. No human going in there and cleaning it out. Basically, it stays on the ground. It builds up over time. It adds to the soil condition, adds to the soil quality. And that's why the forests and jungles themselves are so lush and vibrant, because basically we let nature take its course. Versus your industrial farming, where everything is clear-cut each season. What ends up happening is a lot of the nutrients get stripped out when they clear-cut all the greenery and the weeds on top. It gets taken out, thrown somewhere else. So all those nutrients get taken out of that farmland, get shipped somewhere else, and what ends up happening then? Then they need to fertilize with artificial, chemically based fertilizers. Not really what nature intended. So our food quality is not that great as a result. And neither is the yield that those farms have. So as I mentioned, I will be putting more soil on top here to kind of top it out, basically adding more layers. So I do already have some existing organic matter here left from last fall, leaves, some wood chips I introduced on my own, some pine needles. I'll just leave that in place on both of these beds, and then I will also add some compost. So same thing for your garden. The reason you want to add compost is not only are you adding something that's healthy for your soil, that's basically adding nutrients back in, but it's also adding biology. So whether you're using compost, like from a compost box I have over there, or you're using bokashi compost, mushroom compost, whatever you have, whatever you're using, there's a lot of biology, there's a lot of life in that compost. And that life, basically, that's what helps the plants grow, that's what helps keeps the soil vibrant, rich, and healthy for plant life. Versus if you just have, a garden that's being stripped every year, cleaned every year, things are taken out, you'll see a lot of times too, those gardens become very tough to work with. The soil is not very pliable. Instead, it becomes more clay-like, and then that makes it harder for the plants to grow. It makes it harder for you, to get good fruits and vegetables out of your garden as well. So that's what I plan on doing with this bed, even in this bed over here. I've got a couple of bins of bokashi sitting in the basement that are ready to go. I just need to spread them out over here, and on top of that I'll add some soil, and that just becomes part of the layer. So you're basically layering in your garden there. That bokashi compost will break down, become very nutrient laden, will help the plants grow. The biology in the soil loves it. It basically digests all that bokashi compost and help the life on top, the plants on top, grow better and faster. So this is a cedar bed here. I do plan on building another bed here and putting it right over here for my strawberries. If you saw my video about the strawberries that I recently got, so those are currently sitting in the basement right now. And once the temperatures are good enough, then I will transplant those strawberries out here. And so as part of that too, I will show it on video how I do it, what parts I have, what tools I need, and what other supplies that I use to put it together, and then I'll share that in a later video. So I hope that video was informative to you. Please hit that like button if it is. That way I know it's something that you find of use. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.